Good morning, everybody. This is Lorraine Mall.
And Jennifer Denney. And today we have a special guest. I'm very excited. We have Matt Levenhagen. I'm hoping I'm saying that right. Is that a
Yes.
German? Is that right?
It is German, yes.
It is German. Okay. Well, we're going to talk about WordPress themes today. And you have a lot of experience in this, building some of your own WordPress themes. So tell us a little bit about yourself, and then what is a WordPress theme? Because people might not even know what that is.
And we're going to interrupt you with questions, just so you kind of know how this is going to go.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, that's good. Interrupt away. No, so yeah, it's a deep topic, and my story is deep, long, so I will condense it as much as possible. But but yeah, so my story is I've been online for like 20 years doing stuff. And that's it. That's my whole story. But I started out doing internet marketing. I was an affiliate marketer for years and built a lot of niche sites. I started using WordPress back actually in 2004-05. In those days, I was building my own sites. I used it. I hacked it to do things it wasn't supposed to do back then. Built blogs with it and members areas and just regular websites to try to do. And then, so around 2011-12, I kind of made a transition to I decided to get out of what I was doing and not do affiliate marketing anymore for many reasons. And I decided to do web development because I enjoyed building themes or building websites and
building things, right?
Building things.
Build things.
Yeah, I like to build things. And so I started out as a freelancer to kind of learn the ropes and get better at coding and all that stuff. And then in 2014, I started working for a company as their lead developer for WordPress. And we built all I did there for 4 years is build WordPress themes. I built the framework we used, and then we started selling themes individually. Then we ended up building a marketplace called Hexeter. And Hexeter, when I left there, we had like 90 themes at that point.
Wow.
We had built, but they got out of the WordPress business, and of course I was doing WordPress, so obviously, I had to let my team go, and then I had to go, and then I went out on my own about 2 years ago. End of 2018, early 2019, and started this little agency called Unified Web Design, and been doing that for a couple of years. And we're kind of specialized in doing custom WordPress themes, but we're also maintaining themes or maintaining websites and a variety of things. So that's my story.
So Matt, I got to ask you because I've been doing WordPress. I think we stumbled on it like 2008, 2009. And I'm not a developer. So unlike you, I would rather talk about the things that I build rather than actually doing the building. So I always used themes. And I have so many questions about why a business would choose a custom theme versus an off-the-shelf theme, and when do you decide that that's a good idea? Because obviously with the custom themes, you always have to worry about it continually being updated because WordPress changes their operating system. Every other Wednesday?
Yes. Well, yeah. So there is a distinction there. And that's, as I was thinking about what I was going to talk about today, because this is actually the first time I've really talked in this format about WordPress. I'm usually just talking to clients and my teams, other developers.
Yeah.
But that's one of the kind of the divide, like you got the third party do-it-yourself themes, and then you got the custom themes. And there are, so for every business, it's going to be different, obviously, because everyone's at different stages in their business, or they got a small business, they're using their website in different ways. Having a third party do-it-yourself theme, basically, and what a theme is basically, with WordPress itself, is kind of like a framework almost. It provides the database and the content management system to manage your content, all that stuff. And what the theme is technically designed for is to actually display everything on the front end, like all the layouts and how it's styled, design, and all that stuff. And it can have some functionality in there and stuff, but that's it in a nutshell. So, but when you're starting out, you have to kind of make the decision. Well, first of all, it's a budget decision, obviously, right? So you can go out and get a $29 theme from somebody, or free one. You can go to WordPress's marketplace, and they have free themes that people develop. And you just got to decide what your budget is first, and that's probably one of the bigger things in the beginning.
Well, and I think a budget, that's a good line. But even people who have an unlimited pot of funds, custom is not, is not. I mean, it's not just the money. What are the other things that make me say, you know what, it is expensive, but I'm going to spend the money on a custom theme? What kind of businesses?
Yeah.
Well, so what a custom theme allows you to do is do anything. And so we can take any design. So we can take any Photoshop design, Adobe XD, whatever you're using, and translate that into a WordPress theme. So you're not limited by what a third-party theme is going to give you. And not only that, you're going to be more unique. So if you can design something from scratch, you're going to set yourself apart from others in your vertical or industry, whatever, you'll set yourself apart. And so from just a aesthetics perspective, or a perspective of like differentiating yourself from your competition, that's going to be a good choice for you. And so you can go through that whole design process and kind of bake that into also your marketing strategies and all that stuff you're doing. So you can ensure that you're getting the outcomes, or attempting to get the outcomes that you want. So if you have a certain way you want to list build, and what your focus is for that theme and your content and everything, you can design it down to the detail.
Basically, like the WordPress, when you go buy a theme, it comes with a lot of things already that are kind of built inside of there, which might make it easier to use possibly later. Versus if it's custom, you can do anything you want, but you're going to need somebody to custom kind of develop the next thing you want. Is that right?
Well, so there's a challenge. So there's, like I said, there's a lot to this, but if you get a third-party theme that can do anything, and you're just handed the theme, you're going to probably have a lot of people have a hard time with that, because now they got too many options. They don't know, they don't know how to put it all together, and they get, I've seen, so I sell themes too. And I've seen some of the sites that my customers have built, and I'm surprised sometimes that's our theme. I don't know how they did it that way. I was anticipating them to do it in a certain way, whatever. So it's not everyone's creative. Not everyone has that design background or understanding.
Are your themes been like similar to, let's say, like buying a Divi or a Avada, or what's the difference between those? And
so there's different. So like the themes that I sell are very on the rails. What you see is what you get right now. We're upgrading them to do more, but that's a whole nother story. But so ours are very simple, but there's other themes out there like Divi and stuff that give you like endless options and to build out stuff. But you're going to have to hopefully have some kind of ability to look at a demo and try to replicate that demo or whatever, and lay stuff. And plus, it's a content thing. Sometimes, great, the demo looks great, but you don't actually have the content, so you don't know how to replicate it exactly like that, or write, or do any of that. That's why, going back to custom themes, that's what the value is in custom themes, is the fact that you're probably going to be working with a professional that can walk you through that.
Well, and I think, I think there are levels. Like when we started building, we were using, we decided at that time, Elegant Themes and Studio Press were the two theme houses that we really liked. And what I always was frustrated with is no matter which theme I fell in love with for one of my clients, as Matt, as you were saying, I ran into that wall. I wanted to do 2 pictures and the theme had 3. And so when you talk about breaking themes, we did it all the time. What I really liked about Divi was it allowed us to, whether it's Divi, and I think Genesis does this as well, but I like Divi better, from Elegant Themes, I can do the best of all the features that were available and mix and match. Now, I would not turn that over to a client and say, here, go play, put the pieces together. I still think you have to have a certain level of skill to know which pieces to use when. The thing that I like about the framework is because of the size of Elegant Themes, when they went to the one foundation, it was a lot easier for them to maintain and make sure that with each WordPress upgrade. So if I'm going to use a custom theme from you guys, or not just you, but if I'm going to go the route of, okay, I'm not going to use a framework, I'm going to really go custom. What kind of things should I be considering or thinking about as I'm making that choice, so I know what I'm getting into?
Yeah, there's some traps there, because you, like, for us, like, when and just like anything, like, every developer or every agency is going to want to have their own way of doing things, and so you have to kind of understand, you have to understand the fact that there's support aspect of this. Like, when you have a third-party theme, you know at least it's going to be kept up to date, and security updates or whatever, or they may maintain it or evolves over time. But if you have somebody that does a custom theme for you, they're like, for us, we use an in-house framework that's really simple, and we build from that. And it uses, we use Bootstrap. We have a very kind of a methodology all around that, and keep things lightweight and simple and focused. But
that's a big difference too, isn't it? Lightweight versus like a theme. Sometimes we'll have a lot of bloated code that you might not need.
Yeah, that's been our kind of mission for years, and is to keep things simple, and only because that's with custom you can do that. You don't have to have all this bloated extra code and interfaces and all that stuff. You just build what you need. But
keeping it updated.
Yeah.
And you know, if you think back to the conversation we had with Devin a couple weeks ago about the new Google page experience, that bloat that is part of all those WordPress themes is really going to start to bite companies, and having a lightweight framework is going to be a huge advantage in terms of load speed and how Google looks at it.
Well, one of the big things that I do for clients, and I'm asked to do, is speed. Is worry about speed, and I inherit a lot of themes that have been built by other developers that are terrible. And so what I was kind of going towards before is that you can have a developer or an agency build something for you, but if there's no agreement to continue to support that theme, if they just build it and they're like, hey, have a nice day, and then what can happen is you don't know how they built it. So they may have some crazy building situation there. Maybe they use some crazy frameworks or obscure frameworks that no one else understands. And then another developer comes in to help you out, and they mess things up and they hack stuff, and things I'm working with one right now. It's really terrible. It's a whole story. But but those are the things that, so a good theme is going to be lightweight. It's going to have also, there's going to be a clear path to developing it further. You should have that plan in place in the beginning. Have the ability to use a custom, like a child theme. You can do a lot of stuff now in the editors and customizers.
You can build it in a way that, like, maybe a client can go in and make their own post and their own things like that. Is that how you kind of go about it?
Well, so it's going to get easier in the coming years. Even now with block editing and all that stuff, like mine will use, the overall design and layouts and stuff kind of are built to custom, but we're going to leverage WordPress and block blocks so they can just build out content, do whatever they want to do with it. But we also do use things like advanced custom fields to make sure that all the content's editable in an easy way. And we found advanced custom fields is awesome for, even though we can build all the customizer options or meta boxes, all that stuff ourselves, ACF just makes things really easy.
Well,
Awesome.
as I say, we could talk all day. We're
Yeah.
coming up on time. So like if you had to like come up with like, okay, here's 3 things to consider on getting a theme, what would you say is your top 3?
Well, simplicity, right? Whether you're getting a third party or custom, is simplicity. Keep making sure that the framework you're building on is simple and easy to scale. It's not confusing. Maintainability is just, just in general with WordPress, you have to have the ability to maintain it over time. And so it's simple, maintainable. Again, that kind of wraps into how it's built. And then and just having that support, I think those are the things. Like that's more important than actually the code underneath, is having them, the support, is knowing that having a good path to be able to update it and scale it and all that stuff. Those are the things that are most important to me.
Awesome. Well, Matt, thank you so much. We are going to have a link when we go back and edit the show notes, and we'll send people to your website so they can learn more about custom themes and seeing if that's a fit for them.
Awesome. It was great talking to you both. Thanks for having me on.
Yes, definitely.
All right, guys. So next week, we're going to be talking about metrics, I think.
Oh boy, my favorite. Here we go.
Yeah. We're going to be talking about marketing metrics. So be sure to come back and join us next week. Bye now.
Take care. Bye.